What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage, and welcome back to Community Fridays, where people in our Discord have submitted deck profiles and just various things for me to check out in one of our Discord channels. And this one was submitted by Gothmom. Very, very fun idea here of Shiyoko Manji Gang. It's Tokyo Revengers. I am not familiar with Tokyo Revengers at all in terms of like what the effects do. I know it's very popular, but I just do not care for the set myself. That's just me personally. But I do know this. I believe, and if I'm wrong about this, Gothmom, I'm very sorry. I believe this is what she took to the Springfest regionals with Joe and their other buddy Fear. And yeah, so the format for this looks weird, but I think this is like the same card. Yeah, triple rare. So this is the same card. So it is 4 pants. 4 pants, 2 copies of this. On play, choose a character with a soul trigger in waiting room, return it to hand, and then give 2 characters plus 1 soul. The reason this is called Shiyoko Gang is because this isn't actually in the deck. If I remember correctly, I probably am, this is actually a +2 soul Shiyoko card that she had to get approved at the regionals, which is just funny as hell to me. But yeah, let's just, without further ado, let's get to looking into the deck, because this is going to be some crazy shit. Like I said, I honestly don't know anything about Tokyo Revengers, but she's like, here, I'm dropping this in here. I'm like, okay, I will look at it. So, we start off with the level 3s. We have 3/2 Kids Meal Mikey. It's a 10k. When this is placed on stage from your hand, you can salvage a revenge and put it face. Oh, it's not salvage. I'm sorry. You can put the revenge character underneath it as a marker. When this attacks, you can pay the cost. Put all markers underneath this card at the bottom of your deck in any order. And deal 1 damage to your opponent. Deal 1 damage X times. X is equal to the number of markers sent for this effect. Okay. And at the beginning of your encore step, you can pay a stock to save him if you don't have any other rested characters. Okay. Also, it's an SR, so 3 copies of 3 SRs. Got to be looking fabulous. So there's probably something that gives him a lot of markers to just go burn one, burn one, burn one, like multiple times. So he gives himself 1 for free. Let's continue from there. A 3/2 10/5 Apologize Properly Mitsuya. When this is placed on stage from hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room. Deal X damage to your opponent. X is equal to the number of crit trigger icons in those cards. So if you mill the +2 souls, the double crit triggers here, you get a decent number of damage, which it climax combos off of that other one. If the captain of the bodyguard squad is in your climax area on attack, choose a card in your opponent's waiting room, put it on top of their deck, and this gets an extra 6k power until end of... What the fuck? Why is this just casually getting to like 16/5, and we haven't even looked at the other buffing effects in this set? What the Okay. Here we go. Next is this 3/2 10/5 Take Good Care of Her, Mikey. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a revenge character. Return the top card of your clock to your hand. Heals to hand. Okay, that's actually cool. Oh, so it heals to hand and it replaces the card you discarded. That's interesting. Okay. When the card attacks, if You Should Come Along To is in the climax area, put the bottom 4 cards, deal X damage. Bottom 4 cards of your opponent's deck to waiting room, deal X equal to the number of climaxes. Okay. For free. Like, everything about this card is free. Holy shit, this is actually really cool. Okay, and that's off the pants trigger. And she has 1 in here that's a triple rare. That's actually some cool looking art. Next, we have 3 copies of... Wait, is it 2 different ones? Oh, so you don't have... Oh, so you don't run... Oh, you do. Oh, I thought it was the same card. No, it's 2 different cards. So you run 3 copies of this, but 1 copy... so 3 copies of this Mikey that heals and everything. But 1 copy... You must have climax swappers in this set like a madman. So 1 copy of the pants for this. Okay, this is the thing that does the markers. Okay, when this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, choose a climax. Oh, you just add it. Oh, that's why you only had to run 1. As long as it's in your waiting room, you just add it. Okay, holy fuck. You have to pay a hell of a lot of stock, though. What the hell? Okay, at the end of this card's attack, it's a 3/2 10K. You can pay, am I reading this right? 8 stock. Put 3 cards from your hand into the waiting room. Put 4 other characters from your stage face up underneath this card as markers. And sack the climax. If you do, choose 1 Kids Meal Mikey in your waiting room, which is the first level 3. Put it on stage that this was on. And put all markers underneath this card. Oh, so you put 4 other markers underneath him. Hold on, we gotta do math here. Holy shit. So he'll get 4 markers. Put this card and all markers underneath it, underneath the Mikey. So he'll have 5 markers plus his effect to grab back a marker. Or to grab back a character as a marker. 6. You'll have 6 markers underneath this motherfucker. And this is at the end of this card's attack. So you build up the stock and everything. And then you attack with this last. So 1, you've gotten off 3 attacks already. You do all of that shit. You summon this. You get a 4th attack off. And then you get to burn 1 damage 6 times. Unless there's anything else in here that adds markers. But holy fuck, that is insane. Okay. 2/1/6/5. When this attacks, if the character facing this card is a level 3 or higher, this gets 6k power for the turn. Really good. Okay. Only 2 copies of this fucker. 2 copies of Man of the Times Takemichi. 2500 backup. Really cool. 3 copies of Most Important Things Baji. If you have 1 or less other characters in your center stage, this gets 4k power. At the beginning of your attack phase, if this card is standing and you have 1 or less other characters in your center stage, all characters in your center stage get the following ability. When this card attacks, look at the top card of your deck, choose up to 1 revenge character amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand. Is this the Dual Lanterns thing? Oh, okay, so, yeah, you just... Hold on. So you just attack with these 2, basically? And they just get you, like, they stay big. That might not be, maybe that's the Dual Lanterns thing I've always heard of, but either way. So you just have 1 of each of these cards, or just 1 of each, but these are basically the same exact card. Oh, no, they're not the same. I'm sorry, I misread. You get... This lets you add stuff to hand. This gives you extra stock, which this builds up stock for the other level 3. Okay. And then we have 2 copies of 2nd Division Captain Mitsuya. When your character's trigger check reveals a double crit trigger in its climax, when the trigger check reveals a climax with a double crit trigger, choose a character. You can discard a revenge, salvage back a character. You have an act ability of put 1 card from your hand into the waiting room and rest 2 of your characters. Choose in your waiting room 1 character with the same card name as a character in your stage or your opponent's stage and return it to your hand. Oh, okay, so that makes sense because of the whole Tokyo Revengers thing. If they're like, you know, if you mirror matched against the Tokyo Revengers and they had, you know, a similar card, you could choose 1 of their cards instead to add. Okay. I mean, still, this is good regardless because you get to choose a character with the same card name as you. That's still really cool. Okay. That I haven't even calling out the fucking levels or nothing. So now we're at the level 0/500 special person Emma. When your climax is placed in your climax area, choose 1 of your characters. It gets auto. When this attacks, look at the 2 cards on top of your deck, choose a card amongst them, put it on top of the deck, put the rest in the waiting room. Brainstorm, pay 1, tap this card, mill 4. For each climax, perform the action. Look it up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a card amongst them, add it to your hand. That's actually really cool. The Brainstorm is really strong, and I'm certain this other one is, like, the top checking thing is really good. So 2 copies of Birthday Present, Emma and Draken. I'm sorry, the name Draken just makes me think of Kim Possible. All I see is this guy's face being blue now. It's a 0/500. When this is placed on stage from hand, all characters in your opponent's center stage get -500. Usually that's like, oh, it's just one character. This is just, no, all of them. When this card is placed on stage from hand, pay 1, pitch 1. If you do, search your deck for a revenge, add it to hand. Okay. So I just noticed all of your climax combos are at level 3. You're doing also, granted, these cards can net you advantage, so that's fair. The 2 Shiyoko for shits and giggles, because also that Shiyoko card's blue. 2 copies, 3, because you have the Tokyo Revengers rare, I think. Revenger rare? I don't know. Of this My Treasure Baji. During your opponent's turn, when this becomes reversed, you can pay 1 to rest this card at the beginning of your next encore step, put it into your memory. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. It's an axe, sorry. You pay 1 and sack this card to top check 4. Choose up to 1 revenge character from amongst them, add it to your hand. Okay. So it can stay around, but then if you need to, just sack it the next turn. It just costs extra stock, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. 1 random copy of Draken, Mikey, and Takamichi. It's an SR. I thought it was a promo. When this is placed on stage from hand, pay 1, pitch 1, salvage. Okay. 3 copies of Bloody Halloween, Kazutora, and Mikey. When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a revenge character, add it to hand, then discard a card. When this is placed on stage, if you have 2 or more other revenge characters, you can draw a card and then discard 1. So you can do a decent bit of hand filtering with it. This is really good for hand filtering. I like that. 3 copies of 7th Elementary Mikey, 0015. On play, gets a buff equal to the number of characters your opponent has times 1,000. When this is placed on stage from hand, put a revenge character from your hand into your clock. If you do, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose a character amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, put the rest in the waiting room. You get to dig a hell of a lot with that. Holy shit. And then lastly is this event. Oh shit, 3/4 counter event. The moment he thought, I'm dead. This is literally the face of, it was at this point he knew. He fucked up. You may choose 2 cards in your hand and put them into your waiting room. If you do, choose 1 character in battle, deal X damage to your opponent, and that character gets the ability until the end of turn. This card cannot deal damage to a player. X is equal to that character's soul. So it's a 4 cost. It's a 4 stock, technically, because you discard itself, 3 cards from hand to target a character and go, burn you for your soul, and you cannot deal damage to me. Like, okay. That is actually kind of crazy. I am probably missing some context for card effects here. Mostly because I realize I kind of skimmed over this stuff. If this card is standing... Oh, okay, yeah, it just builds up extra stock. They're big, like 7K beat sticks. And you just attack with these over and over to top check, add to hand, build up more stock and everything. I guess it's because like you do get an extra stock because normally you would be attacking with 3 characters. But this lets you just attack with 2 and still get the same amount of stock. Okay. And then all the climax combos are level 3 and totally depend... To be fair, that also is dependent on your deck state. You can also just drop this fucker right here and grab back any climax that you want, whether it's the one that he combos with or the one that the other Mikey combos with. It depending on your deck state, depending on opponent's board state, just a lot of, or you can grab motherfuckers here, Captain of the Bodyguard Squad, and do his climax combo. It really just depends on you can do it based on what you need at the time, which is very interesting. And this is not a conventional deck build. I do like it. And obviously Gothmom could probably pilot this way better than I ever could. If you just straight handed this to me, I'd be like, okay, let's try. I might be able to do something with it, but I'm certain there's like little intricacies for this that you actually have to like know the deck for it. Also, being able to showcase off your, shiny cards and everything, always good to do. Yeah, this is a wonky fucking deck build, but I like it. It's wonky in terms of just like how much shit is going on at one time, but that's not a bad thing. Take that as a compliment, please. Yeah, we're just gonna end it on that. Thank y'all very much for watching. If you also want to post a deck profile, please join our Discord and go to the deck list submissions and post it up here on Decklog. And I will check it out. If I like it, I will make a video on it, and you may see it in a future video on the channel. Yeah, just please check it out there. Big thanks to Gothmom once again for sending me this kind of stuff to look at, for joining me on podcasts, and just everything, and just being an awesome member of the community, as well as a great friend to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Thank y'all all very much for watching. Subscribe if you want, or go check out Gothmom. She streams on Twitch. I'll put a link for her Twitch in the description. Shout outs to her. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.